Welcome back, everybody. There is my Carrera 124 scale slot car with a Dodge Challenger body sitting on there just because I wanted to see it. And it looks like with a little bit of a modification, if you wanted to go that body, this body happens to come from the Adventure Force RC car sold at Walmart. Some of you may remember this particular vehicle from the Cheating Challenger series, and it seems to work out fairly well. I kind of like the tires sticking out of the wheel wells just a little bit. I kind of like that. And so it wouldn't take much work at all to get that to sit in there. I mean, that's an option, but that was not the purpose of this video. So here you're looking at my two 950 milliamp hour batteries just kind of laying up in there. I made this little battery tray holder, this little guy right here, and it's just kind of formed and bent, and it's got a couple little tabs in there to help stop these guys from falling out in the event of a collision. That's all that does, and once the body's on there, they're not going to come up this way. So now I've already got these two wired together in a series parallel connection. This connection here will go towards the ESC, and then this will be a charge port, and this will be a charge port. Those who know, either micro JSTs or something like that. And this was fairly simple. Aluminum steering mount. I got my pivot point set up in there. The servo actually sits up underneath there like so. It's got a little pivot ball on there. It sits up there like so, but I'll have to drill this to match the holes I put in the chassis here and here, and that will lock this down. And it may require some adjustment from this guy. I might have to lower it down one hole or something like that because we were elevating it in height, so that might have to come down one hole. I don't know yet. But I just play everything by ear. I just kind of look at everything, visualize everything, move everything that can be moved, and I just play it by ear, play it by eyes, whatever seems right. You know, test fit it, cut it, make it out of cardboard if you have to. You know, because if you're making it out of aluminum, for example, maybe you have a limited supply of aluminum. Cardboard you can get out of a cereal box, Kleenex box, things of that nature, real easy. So I think this one's going to work pretty well. I hope that inspires somebody out there. Oh yes, I did solder on my ESC connector. I got my 60 amp ESC. I had to go from a nice thick wire to a very thin wire. It's going to sit somewhere in the middle. I don't know which direction I'm going to mount it, and I want to put the on-off switch somewhere out of the way. And then this is my battery lead right here, which might get trimmed down. It's got to get a connector for that middle one right there. And I've intentionally reversed the connectors on this, but hopefully nobody tries to plug this one directly into that one. It could be a bad day. Probably should use a different connector now that I'm looking at it, but so learn from my mistakes or not, just roll with it. If you know better, I know better, who cares? Have a good day.